Good morning, thank you for joining me. I hope everybody's well and having a good week, and I've just realised there's a load of old glass shelves in the back of my shot. Never mind. There's also a cardigan hanging over the balcony. Banister. I am not one of those YouTubers that has this aesthetic, perfect portrayal of my life. I'm never going to be that person. We're going to go with the glass shelves and the cardigan because that's how real life is round here. This is the third video I'm filming today, so I'm losing the plot a little bit. We're here to do a Q&A, but before we get into that, can I just show you my lovely new jewellery from Anna Louisa, who are very kindly sponsoring this part of today's video. I've worked with Anna Louisa in the past. If you've been with me any amount of time, you will know how much I love their jewellery. Look at this necklace. How pretty is that? So unusual and different. I really, really like it. And I've also got these lovely gold hoops as well, which I can't tell you what lovely quality these feel. I'm going to pop in little screenshots from their website so you can see the close-upness of the jewellery. Everything from their website comes with a 2-year warranty. The one thing that I really like about it, which I say every time I do sponsorships with Anna Louisa, is that they have a small curated selection of items. You don't get the overwhelm. You know, online shopping, when you just try to narrow things down with filters and you just go into a section, you go, oh my god, there's just too much. You don't get that with Anna Louisa, which I really appreciate, because I find increasingly there's choice overwhelm, isn't there, when you do online shopping and real shopping as well. Their prices start from $39, which is the equivalent of £29 UK, so it's very affordable. It's lovely quality. I think I already said 2 years warranty. They are carbon neutral. They offset 100% of their carbon footprint, and I've just got to give a little shout out to the gorgeous little cardboard containers that the jewellery come. These are quite a new thing. They used to come in pouches, but I really like these little cardboard containers. I think they're so sweet, and of course very sustainable, recyclable, and all of that good stuff. So if you are interested in buying any jewellery, either for yourself or for a gift for Christmas, Anna Louisa have some amazing offers on their website, and if you click through using my link in the description box today, the more you buy, the more you save, up to 20% off using that link down there. So please do pop over and have a look. Right, that having been said, let's get into this video. I've recently had an influx of new viewers, which is lovely. Thank you. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying my content. And I asked for any questions you have for me on Instagram and on YouTube. Now, I've just filmed the video which answers the Instagram questions. I got a bit muddled actually. I was going to do that as the first video, so when you see that video, that will actually be part 2 of the Q&A, and this is part 1. So I got a bit muddled, and that one will sound like it comes across as it's part 1, but this is part 1, and you'll see that one. Oh, sorry, I'm not knocking over my water flask. Yeah, bit muddled with the Q&As, but here I am answering the questions that you asked me on YouTube, on a community post that I posted, and without further ado, let's get into it. I like a good Q&A video. I like to make them. I also like to watch them. We'll start with Courtney R, who asked 2 questions, if I may. How do you look after your own mental health, and what do you do for self-care? So let's start with the second half of the question, if we may, Courtney. Let's start with self-care. I quite often think, I talked about this earlier this year, self-care for me can mean doing things today that my future self will thank me for. So getting organised in advance, and I don't know, but maybe buying something, a ready meal, rather than cooking from scratch one evening because I've got a lot on that day, and just things that will help my future self. So that's a lot of the sort of self-care type things that I practice. But my actual everyday moment of self-care, or time of self-care if you like, is getting dressed and putting my makeup on in the mornings. I really like that 20 minutes. I'll sit at my dressing table, I'll decide what makeup I'm going to use, I'll watch a YouTube video, and I just really enjoy that time. And once I've got dressed and got my makeup on, I feel good and set up and ready for the day. Finding moments in the day to spend a bit of time to yourself as well. I always sit down at lunchtime and take a break from whatever I'm doing. That is a bit of self-care as well, I guess. With regard to mental health, Again, that's different for everybody, isn't it? For me personally, I'll mention two things. One thing that I do is that when I am not feeling in the right headspace to receive too many opinions from whether negative or positive or whatever from the greater world, I will turn off my YouTube comments for a period of time. And that has helped me enormously in the past. And I wouldn't hesitate to do it and again should I feel the need to do so. The other thing that I do, for me, I'm a sharer. I like to talk to friends and family if I have things troubling me. Problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. But generally I'm pretty good mental health wise, I would say. Lynn QV2XJ says, two-part question. Where in the world would you like to visit that you've never been to before? I have a bit of a hankering to go to New Orleans. I'd really like to go to New Orleans, I think. I've read quite a lot about it and I've watched vlogs there. And yeah, it's a place that I'd be interested in visiting. Second part of Lynn's question is your favourite holiday destination that you'd like to revisit, minus the Maldives, she says. Ashley and I have talked about going back to the Maldives as well, funnily enough. We were lucky enough to do 5 big family holidays with my parents and my brother and his family to the Maldives when the kids were younger, and we had some amazing times there. The reason that Ashley and I are slightly hesitant to go back is that we feel like, because we've got really happy memories of the big family holidays, if we went back just the two of us, would it live up to our memories? So that's sort of the reason that's holding us back a little bit from going to the Maldives, or going back to the Maldives. A holiday destination that I'd like to revisit was not actually a holiday destination when I went there. It was when I worked on the cruise ships and we were cruising around the South Pacific. And we went to an island called Bora Bora, which was just the most beautiful place I'd ever been to in my whole life, and that still stays inside my head as somewhere that I'd like to revisit, although I don't doubt it's very different now from what it was back then. And it's also eye-wateringly expensive to go to the South Pacific and to Bora Bora specifically, so maybe I'll never get back there, who knows. Linda Allen says, Caroline, your house is beautiful and quite large, thank you. Do you like open plan living, or do you sometimes hanker after rooms you can shut off more? I think it probably looks in videos more big and open plan, more open plan than it is in real life, because effectively it's only the lounge and dining room that are very open plan. The kitchen is, although it's got an open archway into the kitchen, it is very much a separate room. And my office, although again there's no actual door, it's tucked away around the corner, so it's really only the lounge and dining room, although it does give the impression, I'm aware, of looking like it's more space than that. But yes, is the short answer. I like open plan living. I wouldn't want the kitchen to be open as well. Someone left a comment recently when I was talking about renovating the kitchen, saying, you must open up that whole space by the kitchen. No, I mustn't, because it's my kitchen and I'll do what I want with it, not what someone else thinks I should do. But yeah, it made me laugh, that, because I thought, yeah, I definitely don't want the kitchen open as well. We talked about actually putting glass doors on the opening when we redo the kitchen, but yes, I like the open planness of this room as we have it now. Delcipo64 says, Caroline, I love watching your channel, thank you. You seem quite creative and I was wondering if you do any hobbies or crafts. I'm not a crafty person at all. Definitely not a craft, not one of life's crafters. I try a little bit, but I'm not really. If so, I'd love to hear what you do, just trying to find some new activities. Well, I did make a cozy winter hobbies video, I think earlier this year. I'll link that up there. If you're interested in going and watching that, there's some good ideas of little hobbies and activities in there. I love a jigsaw. I've got a jigsaw on the go at the moment, which is why we're at this end of the table as opposed to the other end where we're normally at. I read a lot, obviously. I used to crochet quite a lot. I loved crocheting. I went through a period in my 40s when I crocheted a lot. Not so much anymore. I've tried a couple of times to revive that and I just don't enjoy it as much as I used to. Thinking of potentially learning to embroider a little bit, quite fancying that at the moment, so we'll see. Bronwyn Payne says, how are you feeling on the weight loss injections? Are you experiencing any side effects? I'm pretty sure that when you see this video, you will just have seen an update on the weight loss injections, so I will have updated on that there. Carolyn H2P says, I'm always getting called Caroline instead of Carolyn, and I'm a bit protective of my name. Do you ever get called Carolyn instead of Caroline? Yes, I do, and it used to bother me quite a lot. These days not. I think I don't get it so much these days, but it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. But I know what you mean. Is you know, they are two very distinct different names, aren't they, even though they're similar. So yes, it is nice to get called the right name rather than the wrong name. Mary Hall 9429 says, Caroline, I love all your content, thank you. I found you during 2020. Goodness me, have you not had enough of me yet? I think I would have done, and I've been hooked ever since. I hope it's okay to ask, I was just wondering what Ashley's thoughts are on your current weight loss journey. He is very supportive of it. He knows how much I have tried and sometimes succeeded but mostly failed to lose weight over the years, and I think he for my health as much as anything would be pleased if I managed to lose weight. So he is supportive of it. That having been said, I told him rather than asked him, I'm not an asker, that I was going to be doing the weight loss injections, and he was supportive of that. Yeah, so I think if he'd have had a violent objection to me having the weight loss injections, I'd probably have ignored it, if I'm perfectly honest. That was brutally honest, wasn't it? Olga Ellard says, Caroline, you've mentioned previously in a vlog that you have visited the Maldives with family. Which Maldives island would you recommend for my husband and myself for our 30th wedding anniversary? We're about the same age as yourself and Ashley. First of all, congratulations on your 30th wedding anniversary. I bet it doesn't feel like 30 years since you got married. It certainly doesn't for us. Those years just fly by, don't they? Sorry, just needed a quick mouthful of water. When we went on our Maldives holidays, we went to 3 different places in the Maldives, all of which were lovely. However, we were going as a big family unit, so what we were looking for was not necessarily what you'd be looking for as a couple. And on top of that, I know that it was quite a long time ago we went to the Maldives, and I know that at least 2 of the islands have changed hands and changed considerably, so I wouldn't necessarily want to recommend them. I always think a good starting point for a holiday is think about whether you want to be somewhere that caters for families and kids, or whether you're looking for somewhere that is child-free and adults only. Do you like a big resort with lots going on, in which case choose one of the bigger islands, or are you happy with somewhere very small? Do you want multiple options to eat, or are you happy just with one restaurant? And of course, do you want an all-inclusive package where you pay for everything before you get there, or are you happy to pay as you go? All of those sort of things will help to narrow down. The other thing to mention about the Maldives is transfers, because if you obviously it's all islands, and the airport is on the main island, and you need to think about how far you are prepared to go, either by speedboat or by seaplane. Seaplanes can be expensive, quicker transfers but more expensive, and a lot of the islands are several hours away even by speedboat, so have a think about that as well in terms of how far you're prepared to be in terms of the onward journey from the airport when you get there. Hopefully that will be helpful, and have a wonderful time, I'm sure you will. Gillian Burns says, I have a lot of good quality clothes, handbags, shoes, etc. I want to downsize. I've sold a few items on eBay and Vinted, but hugely discounted, so I could get rid. Have you any tips for selling at a reasonable price? I watch a few YouTube reseller videos and they seem to offer much higher prices for clothes, shoes, etc. that are similar to what I have. Thank you, I watch you every week. Thank you, Gillian, I appreciate that. Take lots of photographs of all different angles on a plain background. Include measurements in your listings. Point out any flaws or issues as well in your description. If you go onto eBay, you can search for whatever it is you're wanting to sell, and then click on sold items. On the left hand side there's a little box for seeing sold items, and you'll be able to see the prices they sold at. So that will give you an idea of the market value of what it is you're selling. I think sometimes, even though things are good quality, if they are not in the right shapes, and that you know, they can be a little bit old-fashioned possibly, so they won't command such high prices as one would expect to get, even though they're good quality. So yeah, do try the sold items on eBay to get an idea of what you can realistically sell things for. Hopefully that will be helpful. Carolina Hearn 9568 says, hi Caroline, how do you feel after the first death in the UK has been recorded from the weight loss drug you are using? I don't know if I will have, I probably will have mentioned this already in my Mounjaro, my latest Mounjaro weight loss update. But obviously it's very sad. I'm so sorry for the lady and her family who died after complications from taking Mounjaro. But let's put it into perspective. That is one death from taking a weight loss drug in the UK. In 1 month, December 2022, 59 people died in England alone, just England, not the UK, from complications arising from an injection for a recent pandemic. I'm being careful what I say because you do get muted by YouTube if you say the wrong things. 59 people in 1 month in England, and that is a statistic from the Office of National Statistics, from the government website. That is a medication that is still being pushed by the government. Lots of people are having it still, including members of my own family, and I think we need to just put the one death in perspective when we can consider that. And this is a medication that the government are still pushing people to have. I had a text message only last week inviting me to go for yet another injection for it. Jane Morgan says, you often speak about makeup, but just wondering what skincare you use and whether you ever have any special treatments. I actually replied to this. I didn't realise it was a question for this video and reply, because I thought it was just a general comment. So I'll just read out my reply, as that's easy as replying again. It says, I'm not particularly brand loyal when it comes to skincare, but I like to use vitamin C in the mornings, a good exfoliant at night, and my skin likes niacinamide and hyaluronic acid as well. I use LED light therapy mask at home and have very occasional facials, twice a year maybe. Next question is from Flo3799, who says, if you could only use one skincare product and one makeup product, which ones would you choose? Makeup product would be mascara, lots of bang for your buck, and it can really brighten up your eyes and open them up. So I think mascara. Skincare would have to be a really good moisturiser. Lisa G says, hi Caroline, I've been watching your videos for a long time and I love all your content. My question is, how did you handle empty nest syndrome when your son left for university? I'm going through it and finding a hard time finding my purpose now. Sorry to hear that, Lisa. I hope your son's having a lovely time at university. I'm assuming that's a son or a daughter, or possibly both. I don't know, but I hope that it's going well. I'm sorry you're finding it difficult. I very much advocate keeping busy. I was lucky that when William went off to university, it was at a time in my life where YouTube was just taking off a little bit, and I was very involved with building up my reselling business, so I had plenty to do that was keeping me busy, and so I felt like I had a lot of purpose. I think the other thing that is important to think about is the natural order of things, that our children will leave, will fly the nest, and going off to university, and it's, you know, it means you've done your job well, you know. And I think as long as our kids are happy and thriving and stuff, we need to step back a little bit and enjoy the fact that we've given them their wings and they've flown the nest. Also, perhaps you need to widen your social circle a little bit, Lisa. Try local friendship groups on Facebook, or perhaps take up a new hobby that involves getting out a bit more and meeting some new people. Or I don't know if you work, but perhaps think about changing your job, or I don't know. But we all need to find a purpose in life that keeps us getting up in the morning, and yeah, it's an important thing to do. So good luck anyway, and I hope, as I say, that you have the Christmas holidays coming up soon, so that'll be fun. Cheryl Parrish says, hi Caroline, I've always wondered what kind of videos you enjoy making the most. I like making favourites videos. I really enjoy those, talking about products that I'm really enjoying. I guess just sharing things that I enjoy is nice. I also enjoy doing these videos because I feel like I talk about things that I wouldn't necessarily talk about in the course of a normal vlog or one of my normal videos, and I'm also answering things that you're interested in, so I know that it's content my viewers are interested in hearing about, if that makes sense. Second part of Cheryl's question made me giggle. It says, Are you making plans to change the kitchen? If so, do you and Ashley agree on what you'd like to do? I asked this as my hubby and I took 3 years to agree on the design for ours. No, Ashley and I do not always agree on what we want to do. We have had some quite vociferous disagreements over the years. However, we found the easiest way, so if we can't find compromise, sorry about the sun going in and out, if we can't find compromise within a reasonable amount of time with whatever it is we're doing at the time, with renovations, one of us will back down. So for example, a lot of the design choices in our ensuite bathroom that we did this year are not choices that I would have made, let me be honest. So and I eventually said to Ashley, well, you go ahead and have those choices, but let's remember this when it comes to the kitchen, that I'm going to have more of my say in that. So we try and make it like that. But yeah, the kitchen will be more my domain in terms of, I'm happy for Ashley to choose. Ashley's quite good at layouts, better than me at layouts, I would say, but I want to have more input into design and style on the kitchen. Katie Adams 7428 says, how do you motivate yourself to work at home? I find I get too easily distracted. I find that it helps that I love what I do for a start. That it does help very much. But if I don't work, I don't get paid and I don't get to live the lifestyle that I enjoy living. So that's quite a big motivator for me. Money motivates me because it gives me the freedom to live the lifestyle and do the things that I do. In terms of actual day-to-day motivation, as I touched on earlier, getting up in the morning, getting dressed into proper clothes and putting my makeup on gets me into work mode, so to speak, and I find that I'm way more productive than if I just slopped into the office in my pyjamas and slippers. That would never, not brushed hair and stuff, you know. So that is my day-to-day motivation. Bronwyn Payne asked me, just wondering if you manage 10k steps each day. The short answer to that is I do not know, because I couldn't stand having that blimmin' smartwatch on my hand bleeping and buzzing at me and telling me to do stuff, and I took it off and thought I'll have a rest from this, and I never put it back on again. That was about a year and something ago, so I'm in blissful ignorance of the number of steps I do, and honestly I don't care that much. I do go on the treadmill most mornings, Monday to Friday now, and have a walk, and I probably ought to walk more. I definitely ought to do more exercise, but hopefully as I lose weight and feel a bit less achy and stuff, I'll be exercising more. Michelle Giblin, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, Michelle, what face cream do you use? I've already touched on that. I'm not particularly brand loyal, but the brands that I come back to again and again are Body Shop Vitamin C for the mornings and Body Shop Edelweiss for the evenings. Kim Aston asks me, morning Caroline, would you agree that YouTube does have a big influence on the way we look at ourselves, trying to have the best hair, makeup, clothes, etc.? I for one get a lot of information from the ladies I watch. I suppose we all take different things from the internet. I think I may have answered my own question. I think YouTube does have a big influence, social media in general. Certainly I find myself being influenced by the influencers that I watch to maybe buy something that they've recommended, or perhaps I've seen some home decor in their house that I think is nice and I will take inspiration from that. I think we all do that to a greater or lesser extent, and probably always have done. Although it's YouTube now, in the past it was probably TV or magazines, or we act as it, or it appear, what's the word? We talk about influencers and influencing as though it's a new thing, but I think it's just taken a different form now. I think magazines influenced us. How many times did you in the past read an article about something in a magazine and think, oh, that looks really good, I'll buy that, or you know, something like that, or watch Davina McCall advertising hair dye on TV, and you know, celebrities have been endorsing products since the dawn of time, haven't they? Well, since the dawn of celebrities. So yeah, I think influencing as a thing is talked about more, but has been around in different forms, whether that be television or magazines, for quite a long time. Next question is from Jackie, who's Jackie9176, who says, hello Caroline, is your mum still in contact with Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh? For anyone who doesn't know, my cousin Sophie is married to Prince Edward, or the Duke of Edinburgh as he's now known. Sophie is my second cousin. Sophie's mum and my mum were cousins. Sophie's mum died sadly several years ago. My mum isn't in direct contact with Sophie. She is in contact with Sophie's dad, Chris, who my mum sends birthday cards and Christmas cards, and they talk on the phone and stuff. But no, not in direct contact with Sophie. Tracy Jane, who has her own YouTube channel, Tracy Jane 67, says, my question is, how do you get an influx of new viewers asking for a friend? I think that references the fact that I said on the post that I'd recently had an influx of new viewers, and the short answer, Tracy, is that make a video on taking weight loss injections, because that's where my recent influx of new viewers came from. But I'm not the best person to ask about growing a YouTube channel. It's been very organic for me, very slow and very organic. But yes, that was the most successful month I've had in terms of getting new viewers in several years, Tracy. So yeah, I'm not the right person to ask, I don't think. This is an interesting one as well. Willow Girl 2635, who's also been around for a very long time in my comments. Thank you for your support on watching my videos. Hi Caroline, I watch a vlogger who has just lost 400 subscribers due to her political stance against Trump. What are your thoughts on being able to express your opinions honestly without backlash like this? My thoughts on being able to express your opinions without backlash are that it's pretty impossible these days, and I think the reason for that is that the internet has algorithms make us live inside our own echo chamber. So if you are refed your own opinions by the internet, by algorithms, to keep you clicking and watching. Kirsten was talking about this a bit the other day, actually, on her YouTube channel. And it has, it's two-pronged really, I think. First of all, the internet feeds us back our own opinions, so we are being reinforced, you are right, you are right, you are right all the time. And it's not showing you the other side of the coin. And the second prong of it is that the internet has made people, to use one of my favourite expressions about the internet, I can't remember who it was, he said, it might be Mike Tyson, the internet has made you all very comfortable with disrespecting other people and not getting punched in the face for it. I think that's just such a great explanation of how people conduct themselves so inappropriately on the internet. I don't know if I'm answering the question, but do I censor myself on here? Do I dilute my real self? Yeah, I do to a certain extent, simply because I haven't the appetite for arguing with people who want to tell me I'm right. I mean, being here, doing what I do, I get told I'm wrong multiple times a day. Anyway, I could go on about that for ages, but I won't. I'll stop now. Next question is from What Julie Loves. Julie says, as a fellow YouTuber, but a tiny one, I wondered how long it took before you felt like you were really getting there with your channel. I go through phases of loving it, then thinking I'm never going to get anywhere. And then there's a whole conversation under this between Julie and another YouTuber, Adventures in Afternoon Tea. Adventures in Afternoon Tea is saying to her, why are you classing yourself as a tiny YouTuber? You've grown to well over 2,000 subscribers. That means well over 2,000 people have clicked that button. Imagine that many people in a hall, which is very true, isn't it? I think it's really hard to answer this question. It depends what you are looking for from your, what is your goal? What is it that you're looking for? What is my version of success? Is probably very different from someone else's version of success. I thought my YouTube channel was, you know, where I wanted it to be when I had 100 people, an average of 100 people watching every video that I made. And in my head, that hasn't really, the numbers go up and that's nice and you earn more money and that's obviously nice as well. But in my head, I'm not really doing anything different or better than I was then. I just do what I do, and I think you have to identify what it is that you want out of your YouTube channel. For me, it started as a hobby and then became a job. And I use the word job because I know there are a bunch of people out there who really don't like the fact that YouTubers use the word job for what they do. But a job only means this is what I do that earns money. You know, this is what I do and it earns money, and you know, therefore it is a job. There's no two ways of looking at it. I do this, I earn money, that's a job. It's as simple as that. So yeah, it very much depends on what you're looking for. How do you define success? I've said before, and I stand by it, that if I never got another subscriber ever again, I would be happy with where I am now. I don't feel the need to create. It's nice, you know, it's nice to keep growing. Next question is from Pam Taylor Barker. We are nearly there. I feel like I've been very verbose in this. We've talked a lot. Hi, sorry, in fact, I need a little bit of water. Wet my whistle. Hi Caroline, Pam Taylor Barker says, as you continue on your weight loss and healthy lifestyle, will your content change from plus size clothing try-ons, which I enjoy a great deal? I think I've got an awfully long way to go before I'm not doing plus size clothing hauls. I think we'll worry about that when and if we come to it, but yeah, certainly not for the foreseeable future, Pam, so we're all good here. Pam also asked, what one item you forgot to take on holiday would you be really cross and annoyed about? It would have to be my Kindle, because I love to read on holiday, so if I forgot my Kindle, I'd be really upset. God forbid I ever forget it. And that's it, we've come to the end. I feel like that was really long. It was longer than the first part, which is going to be the second part, but I hope it was useful or interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to go and have a look at Ana Luisa if you're in the market for any jewellery, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.